Top of the morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the case may be.
Morning for us.
Morning for
it's
us.
An early show.
Yeah, we've switched to the mornings.
Indeed.
Happening.
Yeah. We're morning radio now.
Oh no,
Marty's
Let's
not
go.
drinking
I'm gonna
yet.
Can we talk about the weather? Marty's not
Coming up,
drinking yet.
coming up, it's Marty Sleva with traffic, Destin Legary with weather, and Mitch Dyer in sports.
Which
No.
is not the sports
No.
guy. I don't think anyone
really
You're the
Helicopter.
sports guy.
Yeah, I know, that's
Yeah.
the weird part. But yeah, I'm Ryan McCaffrey. This is Podcast Unlocked, the world's #1 Xbox podcast here at IGN. Destin Legary on my right.
Hey,
I'm liking
everybody.
you look good in red.
Thanks, man.
What is that shirt?
You got spooky.
This
you got
is just,
spooky monsters.
it's a bunch
on
of
your shirts.
iguanas.
Like dead frogs
It looks like
dripping
a
from
mouse.
the
Is that a
ceiling.
mouse?
No, iguanas. They're
Iguana?
iguanas, I think.
It looks
I
like a
think
mouse.
you just have dead
I
sad
see
lizards
mouse
on
here.
your shirt.
I got it from Designed by Humans. They do a lot of really cool designs. They're designed by
Human
like
designed my shirt.
as opposed to like a machine where it's a printing press. These are artists that create designs for shirts, and that's where I got it.
Have you?
Please give me a free shirt designed by humans.com.
Have you ever seen an iguana in real life?
Yes, I have.
I think they're scary looking.
Kinda,
yeah.
I don't
Terrifying
like, I don't like
creatures.
lizards.
Their
I don't
eyes
like
are-
reptiles. I don't like things
Yeah.
with eyes.
It's because they're like you see a profile of an iguana and it sees you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the sea biscuit.
Eyeballs aren't supposed to do that.
The sea biscuit of the trees.
Yeah.
Rocking the cardigan, Marty Sleva.
Yeah.
What's
The
happening, my
Mardigan.
friend?
First time the Mardigan. Mad Mardigan. Hi.
Hi.
Hello, all.
Hey.
It's Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coco.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Mitch is drinking cocoa.
No, that's a latte.
Mitch Dyer. Oh,
You're so
you're
fancy.
a grown
Latte.
up.
I'm so
cultured.
Yeah.
I'm an adult. I
There's
swear.
in the town where I live, there is a coffee place called Never Too Latte.
I like
I
that.
get it.
Hey,
I love
did-
that.
Did you burn down the pizza place in
Oh
your
my
town?
god, no!
I heard.
Did I tell you how like genuinely devastated I was about that?
I just heard the story and I was like, wait, how does a pizza? Because you said somebody smashed their car into
Here's
it.
how
Yeah,
I
it
heard
was-
it
it was
happened.
like
Some
Grand Theft
teenage
Auto.
girl stole her parents' car, smashed it into a gas main, and blew up the pizza place.
That is literally out of a video game.
Camera goes up. Yeah.
Everybody's okay. Nobody was injured.
I was just about to say like 14
Except my
people are
pizza
dead.
place.
She'll be respawning 6 feet.
Wow.
Jesus.
Well, you know, she ruined pizza for the entire community. I
I
think
heard it was really good.
Was it San Bruno that exploded?
Yeah,
a couple
with
years
the
ago?
gas man.
Well,
Yeah.
what's funny is I worked at OXM at the time, and our office, we're in a building in South San Francisco, right next to the freeway. And out our window, you could see the hills, like to San Bruno.
Just San Bruno
and
aflame.
literally one day, we kind of looked over, and there
was
was
on
this
fire.
huge fireball. Like, so we actually called 911.
Yeah.
as many people did.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy.
San Bruno exploded.
Hey, my name's Mitch. Just a quick note: San Bruno is aflame.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys might want to send a crew out or something.
It's like, yeah, it's fine.
I have no. I think it was a gas.
It was a
line.
gas line.
Oh.
Yeah, that PG&E got in some trouble for
Classic
that one.
PG.
I think Frank, our news guy, took a bunch of photos when that was happening.
I think you're right.
He's responsible. He's trying to cover his own
Yeah.
tracks. No,
I
I'm
was there,
covering
just
this.
taking photos. Man.
They were really close to the scene.
convenient.
Spider-Man.
Frank's covered wars.
Frank,
Bringing it back to video
I see what you
games.
did there. Xbox reference party. I love you.
Smash me. Just tear apart the bottle.
Just try to pour it all over yourself. Ah. Well, you're double fisting a water and a Red Bull. Are you hungover?
Not hungover. I'm just very tired. I did not go to bed.
Well, the week's about to get longer because
Yeah.
we're recording early this week because we're off to our company content conference, or
Coco.
he says with a stammer. Yeah, so we're going to be actually bussing out of town, and IGN will continue on somehow while we're away.
On our laptops.
Yeah, we'll be.
We'll be pretending to pay attention during the conference while we're actually like frantically reporting.
Bear listens to this.
Oh, no, so does Steve.
Mitch is fired.
But yeah, it's always fun because we have everyone from the UK and
Yeah, all the global
EU
guys
and
are
LA.
here.
It is nice to see everybody.
Yeah, it's like we have people in the office.
I get to just
Family
They have-
reunion.
hug
they-
and hold Daniel
they,
Krupa.
They
Right.
speak English with funny voices.
He's an
Yep.
adorable human being, isn't
I
he?
love that man.
Yeah, he's great.
The Krupa Troopa.
Nailed it.
I nailed it. That was a Nintendo reference.
I get it.
Dustin.
I get it, Marty.
Nintendo
Villain.
voice chat available
So,
now.
As a result of us recording early, because I want to post the show on Wednesday, just stick to the schedule. But inevitably,
Something huge will drop on
massive
Tuesday.
news
Yeah.
will happen
Yeah.
between now
Tomorrow-
and
Xbox One canceled.
Well, tomorrow they'll announce the remodel, or
Yeah.
Battletoads will get officially announced.
Right.
Don't.
Microsoft will buy Valve.
Oh, jeez.
Man.
Something crazy.
Dota 2 coming soon to Xbox One.
Which I think at this
After
point,
buying Minecraft, I could believe that.
well, yeah, you
Yeah.
never quite know at this point. But so apologies in advance for the huge news we're probably about to miss.
Our bad. That Gears of War 4 trailer is pretty cool, though.
So I want to go real quick into some of we promised it last week. We did our 2015 Xbox predictions.
We did.
Good responses to that. Tons of listeners sent in their own predictions.
I haven't even looked at these yet.
Wanted to pick just a few of the good ones, a few of the best ones I thought were either on point or just wild but cool. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start. Ryan Turford suggests that Mass Effect 4 will be announced for a 2016 launch, and to tide fans over, Destin's dream will come true, and Mass Effect Trilogy will be coming to next-gen consoles.
I don't want Mass Effect Trilogy like a direct port with like updated textures. I want them to update the engine on the third engine. Yeah.
I think you're a little optimistic with that, but I think that a trilogy with the announcement obviously like that is a very astute observation.
That could happen, yeah.
So Mass Effect, the entire trilogy was built on Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about, Mitch, one of your predictions was Marcus Phoenix Collection.
Yep.
Marcus Penis Collection. That's Freudian, whatever.
Farkas Phoenix.
Razor Ale.
Talking about penises and razors. Those two things don't go together. But, we've talked about, well, would they pretty that up and maybe move the whole thing to Unreal Engine 4? Oof. That same thing could theoretically happen with Mass Effect, although it would seem like a massive
save as Unreal 4, right?
I don't think
that seems like a lot of work.
I mean, that's
if I think Gears of War trilogy will happen, and I also think a Mass Effect trilogy will happen, but I don't think to equate it to Master Chief Collection. I think it'll be more like
how
Master
Master
Halo
Chief
3
Collection
looks as opposed to
Halo
2.
Because that's the thing. There, you can't. Master Chief Collection only really updated one game, Halo 2, because it was its anniversary. Yeah. There isn't. I mean, technically, next year would be Gears 1's 10th anniversary.
Oh my God.
We're old.
Yeah.
The Xbox 360 is 10 years old this
Is that
year.
you,
Just
Jeff?
hit me.
Yeah. Are you here for me?
Yeah,
wow.
So it would seem like how much work would it be to move the whole trilogy over to Unreal? In either case, in Gears or Mass Effect, but I think everybody wants that to happen. That's the one remaster where, like Master Chief Collection, it would just be beneficial to everyone and not just a cash grab.
Yeah.
There were also errors with the original trilogy where like pieces of DLC were missing from 2 or 1 on some platforms.
Mass Effect or Gears?
Mass Effect.
Okay.
Hopefully if they do a collection on next-gen consoles, all the DLC is in the build. It's not like still there's, you only get whatever mission on PS4, but on Xbox One you get the other one.
I'd be excited for Mass Effect trilogy because I've never played any of those
I
games.
still can't believe that's true.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
You need to.
I think you've repressed this because you freak out about this
every time. And every time after the podcast, you take a deep breath and you're like, you take a forget me now. You're like, I still want to be friends with Marty.
Apparently, I have early onset Alzheimer's, or you guys are hitting me with the Men in Black.
Yeah, right. No, there was like a year or two span where I didn't stop playing games, but I played them a lot less.
Yeah,
and that was sort of like when Fallout 3 came out, and Mass Effect, and those are I just sort of missed them. By the time I got back into it, I look back.
There's a drunken, blacked out gap in your in your repertoire.
That was back. I was just playing like anything that was like an hour or too long. I was like, I'll play Braid, I'll play Bastion. These are short.
That hurt my heart to hear that because you listed 2 of my favorite games of all time.
I know, and I'm sure I would love them.
Yeah.
You do hit on something though with the potential of a Mass Effect, trilogy remaster, is that who wouldn't buy that again if you did play the 3 of them?
I own it, and I go to the stores, and I still want to buy it when I see it in stores.
I have that with Red Dead.
If you're a youngin or a Marty, you would 100% buy it because all your friends told you how amazing Mass Effect was.
Yeah.
It's just my worry is that I felt like that would have been a great thing for the first year or two of the generation. But by the time, if this happens, gets announced, and then it actually comes out, we're going to be like in the thick of like this fall.
Do you have 100 hours to devote to
amazing games, let alone next year?
It'll have to be like a spring release. Like I feel like you could even do it 2 years from now. It'd still be
Summer.
irrelevant.
Yeah, or like that sort of like where Dying Light came out. Like Dying Light is huge because there's sort of not a whole lot going on.
Mass Effect 2 hit in January of whatever year that was.
That's
I
true.
think 2010.
I got to my first semester in college. I moved to the house I was living in, had no bed and nothing but time before my first semester, and I was like, all right, I just blew through Mass Effect 2. Yeah.
Where did you sleep?
I had like a mattress with no frame.
Mitch can levitate. He just floats on air.
No, I just threw a mattress on the floor and I was like, all right, let's do this, Shepard.
Let's do this, Shepard. Did it slip? Like, was it supposed to come
I
out
don't
for fall?
remember.
Probably,
but,
yeah.
I mean, if not publicly, I'm sure internally it slipped,
I'm sure
right?
they were trying to get it in November.
Yeah.
So we like that one. Next one comes from Jake C., who says, my prediction for 2015 is that Microsoft will announce and or release Halo Reach as DLC for the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, again, I think that's a very safe bet. I think that's probably definitely going to happen. I would also back that.
Do we know
didn't they say
ODST
that?
is coming.
No,
ODST is coming.
Do you know when?
ODST. Okay.
No, sometime this summer.
I thought they said
Spring?
I thought they specifically said, unless that was for the Relic map for Anniversary, but I thought they said spring for ODST.
I think they announced ODST is coming, and like around that time, Reach was free as games for gold.
Oh, that's cool.
It was something like that. So.
I can see Reach at some point before 5 comes out, sort of drumming like the hype, like getting people talking about Halo again.
Yeah, and this also just expands the life
would
cycle.
Have to be quick.
Yeah, it would have to be like
in development
summer.
now.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, because the existence of the announcement of ODST almost guarantees the existence of Reach.
Yeah.
Because when this came out, we all said, "Oh, it's a Master Chief Collection. We're never going to see ODST or Reach." Oh, lo and behold, here's ODST.
Surprise! Yeah.
Why leave the last one hanging?
Yeah,
feasible. Finally, Chad, whose gamertag is Dapper Dingo, if you'd like to friend him on Xbox Live, says he predicts something like this. This one's a little nutty, but I like it.
All right,
because it's sort of plausible if you think about it. Sort of makes sense. So, $5 to rent a full game for 5 hours. And then after the 5 hours, you have the option to buy the whole thing for the remaining $55 or just let it go.
So Microsoft's
basically
answer to
a
PlayStation
digital,
now.
To EA Access,
a digital
EA
rental
Access.
service. Very direct digital rental service where it's like, okay, $5, you can unlock this bad boy for a few hours and then keep it if you want it.
If that's something that could roll into Xbox Live Gold, or even like a more premium service than Gold. Like EA Access, you have a subscription of whatever, $5-10 a month, and you get access to EA games early in a trial-based period.
You mean the Xbox Live Diamond subscription that I've been dreaming about in my brain forever?
Yeah.
Where it's
You still have your card?
It's super expensive. I do have it.
Yeah.
I might even have it. I'll check.
I remember you guys at OXM
I have
did
mine
Will
somewhere.
Smith. No, it was Norm. You had Norm go out. Norm Chan.
Might be at home.
Now at tested.com. Take a Xbox Live Diamond card.
Oh, yeah.
And
We
he
did a feature on that.
And he took it out and he tried to redeem it at all the places that Diamond was
It's at
eligible.
home.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "What? No, go away!" Yeah.
Who are
It
you?
actually had a few good discounts. To be fair.
Yeah. Some of them did honor.
But
it
yeah, my
eventually.
dream Xbox Live Diamond level subscription where it's super expensive and it just completely keeps all the riffraff out.
Yeah.
It's just
You only queue into games with platinum people.
If you remember back, if any of our listeners are super old school Xbox people, if you go back to 2002 and 2003, when the first year that Xbox Live launched, it was an amazing place because it was all broadband, which at the time was not something you just took for granted, and it was all like random people. Everybody was there because they really wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Like I would play Mech Assault or Ghost Recon 1, and people would talk, they would communicate, they would be fun and nice, and the SHIT heads were not there. They only, as the Xbox got more popular,
I was going to say, sucked a dad.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm just going to get yelled at by my bosses. I don't need that in my life. So I get yelled at enough. So I don't need them throwing me off my own podcast as well. But yeah, so that was always my dream, was because it's a victim of its own success, right? As Live has exploded to however 50 million people are on it. I think it's 35, 40, something like that. You are going to run into a-holes and little 13-year-olds. Because technically, it used to be Live was supposed to be 17 and up.
Yeah.
It was not a place for children.
Yeah.
Like that was actually written down somewhere. So yeah, I dream of the or it's like the frequent flyer lounge, like the gold premier lounge at the airport, where it's like you got to be this cool and you got to and then if you're still a dickhole and you do have your Diamond subscription, they can people can complain and then they can demote you, can throw you out of the club.
I'm just imagining you log on to Master Chief Collection, you're playing with Conrad Hilton and just all these debutantes.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Wait, you're a real guy.
Yeah, Saudi princes.
Yeah. Hey, if they're nice.
They're nice.
That's all I'm looking for. Just good teammates. But don't call me homophobic slurs and racial epithets. Nobody needs that. So yeah, what do you guys think? Would you be down for a sort of direct rental service like that?
Yeah,
I think that's really cool, honestly. Especially now with with the lack of actual demos for games, like being able to try something out. Like if you're not sure if you're going to dig something like Dying Light, or if you're not sure you're going to dig, Evolve. Like being able to play it for an hour, 5 hours, pay that money like what you would have paid if you rented a game from Blockbuster back in the day, and then have the ability to be like, yep, right away you can. That $5 can go towards the $60 purchase, and
I like
you can
that.
unlock the full game.
I worry about the consequences of something like this, though. Like, look at something like BioShock Infinite as a $60 game that was like 10, 12 hours long. Could be longer if you really took your time. But if you rent it for $5 and you play through half of it, that I worry that would lead to developers making longer games that don't need.
Then people would be like, "Wait, I paid another $55
for 4 more hours or
He's,
whatever." Right?
But the idea doesn't have to be 5 hours.
No, of course.
Mm-hmm. So,
but I do like the idea of rentals. I've always said that I want XBLA to charge me in Microsoft points. Like when those points were available, like take 25 points away and let me just play one life of X-Men.
Right.
And when I fail, I can do it again or bail.
I probably wouldn't utilize this, but looking at what EA's done and looking at what Sony's doing with PlayStation Now, it seems like a no-brainer that Microsoft is researching something like this as a viable income source.
Let's hope
basically.
so. Otherwise, Microsoft should just hire Chad, because if nobody in Redmond is considering this,
that's how easy it is, right? You just write down 2 sentences, reply to like Steve Ballmer or whoever.
Steve Ballmer's definitely gone.
Let's do this.
Well, is
Bill
he looking
Gates?
for a job with the Clippers?
I don't know who works there anymore.
Get in touch with our buddy Phil Spencer.
All right, so Chad, good stuff. Everybody, good stuff. Thanks for sending in your predictions. And now let's move from predictions into concrete opinions.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just stole your segue thunder. What are you going to do about it,
No,
Destin?
that's fine. Less work for me.
Evolve.
Yeah.
It's out this week.
Yes.
It's out by the time
It's out
people
now.
hear this show. Yes, it's out now. We're recording the day before it technically is released.
But the embargo's up.
Embargo's up, and everybody at this table has played a ton of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to go around the room. Our review in progress by Vince Ingenito is up.
Full review coming soon with the score.
Yeah,
Sometime this week.
pending server disaster. So I just want to start. Yeah, Marty, what have we've all played the game a lot. What are you thinking of it? What do you like? What do you not like? Because this has been a pretty, I don't want to say polarizing game, or controversial, but it's say a much discussed game. Like it seems fun, but is there $60 there? Is it deep enough? Is it this? Is it that?
I actually don't know if it's deep enough yet. It's an interesting game because our first couple volleys of previews were all incredibly positive because this game is a ton of fun to play a couple rounds of.
Particularly with your friends.
With people you know, When we played at that initial event and like playing against, other journalists that we are friends with.
Right.
Like that was amazing. And when we even play like on the stream the other day when we played it with Fredo and Max, like that was great. It's knowing who your teammates are and then knowing whether you're the monster, knowing that you're killing your buddies, or the vice versa, like that feels good. And when you're communicating with your teammates, it feels really good. There's definitely some balance issues to be had, and I know there's like a day one patch, so I'm not sure if like Wraith is just super
OP.
overpowered.
Like get that thing out of the game. Disable it.
Because you use Berserk and you just tear everything apart. Right?
That character just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It is preposterous to me that character can go invisible, that it can hurt you, that it can eat while it's invisible.
Invisible,
that it
and then
you
do
with an
more
invisible
DPS
decoy.
than anything else in the game.
It's so crazy. It's so mobile. It's like kind of difficult to understand what's happening when you're fighting against a Wraith. I really don't like that.
One of the things, when I'm a monster, I feel like when I get into a ruckus, I start just spamming attack buttons, and I can't really tell who I'm trying to hit. Like in my mind, I'm like, I want to get the trapper or the medic.
Yeah.
Those are the two I want to take
Get the
out
dome
first.
down, take the medic out.
Yeah, exactly. And then as soon as that happens, it's great. But then I'm looking, and I'm just like, well, there's a bunch of little things.
Which
They
one's the
have
medic?
icons,
Which one's
but
which?
It should be just color-coded.
But
be,
it kind of is. It's just not enough.
it's not enough. It should be
Because
like a big blue arrow over this person's head.
Exactly.
The medic.
Well, the assault guy is always like he's dressed in red. The
Yeah,
trapper
they
is
have,
always
they
yellow.
have like, they have.
But when
orange or
when you're
whatever.
in the pulled back third person monster
They're
camera,
so
they're just
small.
like these
Yeah,
little.
especially if you're cracking like flying in the air.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
I mean, during some of those skirmishes, the game is so fun, and it's unlike any other multiplayer game.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
is.
If you slap a dome down with a level 2 monster, and the person who's playing them is smart, it's incredibly tense. Honestly, unlike anything else I've ever played. Even like it's some of the same feelings as Left 4 Dead, obviously, but it feels a little bit different. I'm worried that there's not enough meat on the bone. I don't know if that was a monster eating pun.
It can be.
Yeah.
Judges, I'll allow it.
We did it. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to play more. I want to see if there's other modes that we haven't played. I want to see if there's other maps, because as of right now...
We've played it all, my friend.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stick around. I want to play as the other monsters. I want to see how they feel. I'm going to definitely put in some time later on this weekend, but yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be the thing that, manages to take my time as much as something like that.
Yeah, and I worry because I was so excited for this, and the more we've played it lately, the more it's been a series of peaks and valleys. Like the high highs are incredible. It's those moments where you're not sure if you can take down this monster, so you're really talking to each other. You're really trying to figure out. You're trying to min-max basically all of your skills to figure out, okay, Marty, you need to apply the damage buff so that I can use my skills, and Marty, like Ryan's going to tranquilize
your medic to continually heal you.
Like, stop trying to damage it. Your damage is too low. We're dying. Like, please help us. Those kinds of moments are great. But for me, I love playing the monster, and I always have, because it's just fun to just clown on this entire team of 4 who's desperately trying to fight against something that's more powerful than themselves. Yeah. But the act of searching for that monster as the hunters is excruciating.
It just seems kind of random. Like, you get those tracks on the ground, and there's birds 200 meters away. But by the time you get there, there's the things.
Well, and you guys are talking about hunt mode. Like, I think we've kind of all agreed we all really like the defend mode.
Yeah,
that just sort of forces the action. Yeah. Monsters stage 3. There's a generator. You got to take out 3 of them in succession
because it's on all the time.
Right.
Yeah. He has to send in minions, try and take out what he can.
The one thing I wish was different in Defend, which, by the way, if you're going to play Evolve, and we'll get to the progression in a minute, but if you want to increase the progression rate, play Defend. It's the best way to grind out skills because you're constantly just unloading ammunition and abilities into a monster, and it's the fastest way to get unlocks. But in that mode, I really wish you could draw the aggro of the tiny Goliaths that are running around, because they'll start wailing on this machine you're supposed to defend, and you can beat the snot out of them, and they don't care.
They don't really care. They're still just wailing on the machine.
Yeah, it's like you can't pull their aggro to draw them away to like I'm going to draw it away so that you can shoot it from behind, but I'm at risk because it's chasing me. Meanwhile, Destin is hovering above us as Kraken.
I think the problem lies a lot in character design for me anyway. Like with Left 4 Dead, you had the boomer, you had the tank, you had the stealth.
Do you like the game though, Destin?
No, not really.
Not really.
Wow.
It doesn't grab me in the same way Left 4 Dead didn't grab me. A lot of people love
Left 4 Dead didn't grab you. Wow.
I played through the story once, and then I'm like, okay, that's enough. Like that was kind of fun. I like the character interaction and everything.
Yeah.
But there's just something about these games that don't quite click with me.
Okay.
And with Evolve, I don't know. Like at least with Left 4 Dead, the character designs were memorable. I remember each of the characters and the quips, like Pills here is a meme and everything, and like Boomer, they were very distinct. With Evolve, like when I'm the monster, I'm just like, okay, I'm the big Hulk guy, or I'm the flying one, or I'm the stealthy one.
I like the design of the monsters a lot, honestly.
Yeah. But I don't feel powerful as the monster ever. Like,
really?
Okay, I'm punching this one guy, and I'm punching him forever. Okay, eventually he goes down, move on to the next. It's just not exciting for me, or gripping.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, you're this giant hulking gorilla dinosaur.
Yeah.
And you're throwing a giant rock into somebody, and it's like, well, it took a quarter of their health. It's like, no, that guy's dead.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to see some like nice gruesome fatality type moves or something when you actually take a guy out instead of just him falling on the ground?
Yeah,
maybe
it's just
a quick animation of ripping a guy in half or something like that.
Okay, his icon turned into a skull. I guess he's down.
Right.
As opposed to actually seeing something that confirms that person's dead. It's just like you guys said before, you're fighting these tiny little icons.
Yeah, and then you're just down but not out.
You're punching a life bar. You're punching a life bar.
That's a good point.
Yeah, for me, I'm with Marty. I do love the game. Every time we sit down and play it, because I'll bet we've spent at least 4, if not maybe 5 entire work days playing that game. At various times along the way. And every time the clock just speeds by, I look up and go, what, the day's over already? Damn, that was fun. But yeah, for me, my 2 problems with the game are the progression system, which you hinted at, Mitch. It's not only just agonizing. It'd be one thing if everything unlocked in like 3 hours, but it's way more than that. It feels like it's completely
it is wholly
tacked
unnecessary.
on. Yeah, it's completely unnecessary. It's there. It just artificially holds back the best the game has to offer with no real positive reward for doing so.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of the game is the variety and the combinations of which hunters versus which monster, and the fact that for the first quite a while you only have the first 4 hunters and Goliath.
Yeah.
Just like, what? Come on.
And that really only allows for basic strategy and the characters that unlock later on. And I've talked about this with a lot of people, especially like IGN listeners who know my thoughts on this. Many of them say that, like, you know, the tier 2 people are, for them, better than the tier 3 characters. But even if that's the case, then okay, well, then your favorite is the first character you unlock, and then why are you progressing to tier 3 if you don't like the third one?
Right. So yeah, I mean, I do really like the game every time I sit down with it. But yeah, the progression system can die in a fire immediately. Just get rid of it. Patch it out.
What's the progression system in San Bruno Pizzeria?
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. Send it to the same place the pizzeria went to.
I'm mourning here.
I am sorry. And then the other thing that kind of annoys me about it doesn't annoy me, but I feel like even though there are like 12 maps in the game, with just a couple of exceptions, I'm not a fan of the maps or the map design.
I'm with you.
They all feel very generic and not very distinct, and I feel like they're very interchangeable.
Yeah, to the credit of the world, I feel like that's interesting. Like, oh, they could have all been the same place.
Right, but I don't feel like, get to the waterfall immediately, and then I know where that is.
Yes.
Like, I've played enough of the game where I should know these maps better, but they don't stand out to me. And so, I'm not super into the map design.
None of them have that sort of iconic. I don't think they have the iconic staying power.
There's no
lockout.
There's very similar color palette.
Nuketown, is that the name of the
I mean, the one map to me that stands out is Aviary. It's the most. It's far and away the most, I think, just unique and interesting map. But the rest of them are like, well, pretty much take it or leave
number
it.
3.
Do you guys see yourselves playing this in 2 weeks still?
No, I really don't.
It's tough to say.
There's too many other things for me. Like, there's other things I want to be playing. I mean,
we're in a special case where we've spent so much time playing it already that because I'm not going to be playing it in 2 weeks, like I've already exhausted my interest in it. And I got
after probably
20 hours ish.
20 hours.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I got a lot out of that, and I did enjoy almost all of those 20 hours. So I got what I wanted out of Evolve, but it just isn't something that's going to hook me.
Doesn't have longevity.
No, and I really thought it would, because when they started talking about this, they started talking about it with like a lot of things that hit on like my esports nerves, like add-on content, bringing more stuff into it over time, spectator stuff. And then over time, as the game got more and more delayed, that stuff became less of a priority for them. And maybe it'll come later, but I feel like it will be too little too late.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how the game will do. The reactions are very mixed on IGN when I see they're in the comments or on my Twitter feed or something.
Or even within the staff.
Yeah, absolutely within the crew. But it is an excellent game. I wonder, and I'd say one of the more common things I see of people that have played the alpha, played the beta is, I'll wait till it gets to $30. And that game could see a pickup at that point. But
to me, it feels like a $30 game.
That's such a damning thought, though. Like, how crazy is that? That I'll wait for it to get to $30, or I think it feels like a $30 game.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I think it is worth $60, but I also completely respect anybody who feels otherwise.
So this is the thing that I talked about when they first announced it. Like, what if this game was free to play? What if you got Goliath and the Tier 1 hunters for free, and then everything else was unlocked with in-game currency because you played a lot, like you have to now, or you could just pay for characters?
I mean, that would be an interesting way to go about it. That gets you're now getting completely into the business side of the
which
industry.
I'm sure 2K considered and promptly squashed.
Well, but that's actually what I was just going to say is 2K has not. They publish a lot of great games, but they have not really adopted a lot of. I would still call them very much a sort of traditional publisher who's adhered to a lot of the traditional things. I mean, they sell a $60 Grand Theft Auto game every 5 years that sells 50 million units, and that's what works for them. And or Borderlands every couple of years, and it's but they haven't really done a lot of experimentation in that way where that the Valves and the some other publishers of the world have. And I mean, it's an interesting hypothetical for sure.
I think I'll pop back into this hopefully when inevitably sort of licensed DLC comes out. Like we always joke about, like wanting a Predator set of characters.
Well, and now that Sega is backing out of AAA publishing, it's completely on the table. Make it happen. Yeah. The last point I'll say on Evolve is I will say that in my experience, the you can play by yourself and in any role you want, and AI fills in the rest. The AI is actually really enjoyable. It predicts.
That's true.
It replicates humanish behavior very well. I had a really good time playing solo. So
I was watching Vince play, and I was like, "Oh, who are you playing with?" He's like, "No, nobody."
Yeah.
Really? Because that dinosaur is doing some awesome stuff, and your teammates are being really useful right now.
So if that's a consideration for you, take that for what it's worth.
I want to see the PC mods. It's on PC, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to see X-Men versus Giant Barney. Goliath, just do a palette swap with Goliath where he's all purple instead of colored, and then,
you're mine, bub.
Yeah, that'd be great. It wouldn't be that hard. It's just reskinning. And we saw it with like all the fighting games. People would like make Punisher instead of Ryu. It'd be fun.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
You have a bizarre brain. I like it. Yeah,
mods.
I
go straight to mods on PC.
You do. That's all right. That's a lot of enjoyment to be had there. All right. Last thing. Oh, we haven't even officially started the show yet. Technically,
we haven't even started recording yet.
Oh my God! No! As Marty gives me a heart attack, you just see me clutch my chest and fall over. And then so coming up later in the show, whenever we actually decide to start the show, I've got a phone interview with 343's Josh Holmes, the studio head on Halo 5, and Quinn Del Hoyo, the lead multiplayer designer. Apologies that it was on the phone, but they couldn't be here and I couldn't be there. And apologies in advance as well. A sort of condition of the interview was we're only talking about Halo 5. We're not going to talk about Master Chief Collection stuff. I had those questions written down. So
to be fair, I'm sure those guys had nothing to do with that game.
Well, that's actually what they said, and that's actually true. Sure, those guys have been on Halo 5. They're not tied into Master Chief Collection. So please don't get mad at me. Don't tweet me and be like,
"Hey, dummy."
Yeah,
why are you asking softball questions?
Yeah, it's like that was not part of the deal. So
also, if you're watching the video version of this podcast, you can only get it on the audio version on iTunes or the MP3 on ign.com.
Yeah, because it was a dumb phone interview.
Yeah, so we don't want to just kind of drop in a blank video and have a 30-minute phone call.
I'm going to film Ryan from 4 different camera angles and switch to a dramatic close-up when he's asking tough questions.
That's great.
No, we didn't do that.
No. We should have done that.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Have Matrix moments where it's like...
Yeah, it's about...
question.
It's about a 25-minute interview, so stay tuned for that after the news and the marketplace report. So we'll get to that. And for now, let's get to said news right after this. All right, let's get back to it after the weird off-camera banter that no one hears.
We really should record it all the time.
I didn't get that. You guys got to warn me when you're going to do weird stuff.
Sorry, just count on it.
I know,
as soon as you hit stop and you got to start moving stuff around, just hit
it's
record.
It's all going to come out.
We're here for you.
And then we can all self-incriminate for later at the end of the year.
It's basically just a blackmail break.
Basically, yeah. So news this week. February system update, Mitch. What's in it?
Screenshots.
Finally.
Just kidding.
They're not.
No, this February update has, if you were in the preview program, you already know about the controller improvements, but we also have game hubs, improved party chat, custom backgrounds, and TV updates.
What the hell does controller improvements mean?
They work now.
It binds faster, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Twice as fast.
So I didn't know about...
Get to your gaming quicker.
I didn't know about...
Sunday.
Truckosaurus.
I did not know about Game Hub, but they describe it as, these are the go-to centers for interesting content, tips, and tricks from your favorite titles. Every Xbox game will have a Game Hub where you can see what friends are playing in the game, compete with your friends in leaderboards, dive into the coolest game clips and game broadcasts, and follow the game's top broadcasters and clip creators.
I actually like this a lot.
It's a Twitch page for every game.
Because, we've said for a long time how, as Xbox Live has grown, it gets tougher and tougher to find what you want.
Yeah.
So organizing these game hubs, I think, sounds like a really smart way to just keep tabs on, to find a lot of interesting things. I'm sure, theoretically, DLC stuff would be in there, and any other relevant info. If you're a super Halo fan, boom, done.
I think it's cool.
Be curious to see it in practice. I updated my system, but I haven't done anything with it yet.
If you're a super Ravens Cry fan.
Those exist?
That'd be the saddest hub page.
Are you guys in the preview program? I am.
No.
They introduce weird stuff, and I'm like, this isn't at work. What's going on?
I'm afraid it's just going to break some new release, that I'm just going to try to go play something and it's not going to work right. So, I get to see a lot of stuff ahead of time working in this job, but I'll wait for the final release.
There's still so many weird things with that UI. I just hope they sort it out.
Sort it out, says Destin Legary.
And his army of lizards.
You got that last little bit there, Mitch?
Oh, yeah. So the screenshot functionality is coming soon. Phil Spencer tweeted a picture of it. I didn't actually see this, but it was added to his dev kit. Phil Spencer has the screenshots, everybody.
He
He's got them.
Screenshotception.
He's watching the video version of Unlocked on YouTube right now and taking screenshots of it with his Xbox.
Why did it take so long to do screenshots? I mean, they have full videos. You can freeze frame the video.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of surprised the screenshot functionality took as long as it has.
Don't know.
I mean, let's ask an honest question. Would you really use it? I know
Yes,
a lot of people.
I use it all the time to tweet dumb photos about Destiny on the PS4.
Fair enough.
So I would definitely use it on Xbox.
Done.
And that's awesome because it was
convinced me.
ingrained, like it's built into the controller from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Like pressing the share button, taking a screenshot, tap out a dumb tweet, keep playing.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy on PlayStation. I hope that functionality exists on Xbox One.
I think my last tweet used it, actually, Ryan, now that you bring it up. Yep, there it is. Oh, that's from the app. But anyway, which dumb Destiny tweet used it? There it is, right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Point taken.
Mm-hmm.
Destin, 1.
I would use it.
Ryan,
Definitely.
0.
Let Destin have his dumb tweet.
What else is on our... they've added a ton, obviously, over the last year and change. What else? What are the major things that are outstanding that we want out of this dashboard?
Make a new one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still. I'm still waiting for the sort of the complete overhaul of the dashboard that takes into account the fact that very few people are going to be having a Connect. Sort of just a
fair
redesign.
point.
Yeah, because I mean that
Good
dashboard
point.
is still sort of Connect voice centric.
Windows 8.
Like in order to like dive into things, and so I mean I was perfectly fine with the 360 dash. So
I love that blade system. I love that you can hit the
stop
jewel.
We talked about this.
So they got rid of it, but then if you hit the jewel, it's kind of like a super basic system
That's
that was
true.
similar
Yeah.
to the blade system, and I can find everything easily, and
Yeah,
it's
I
just
love that
intuitive.
blade noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something we talked about. Like, I agree. That's I want to, instead of pressing the jewel and having it taking me back to the dashboard, I want it to bring up a little quick mini thing where I can.
See, I love
It'd
the
be great
dashboard.
if you could,
Yeah.
and then you could customize it. Like these are the 5 things I
Oh,
want.
Friends
customizable?
list,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that'd be
party
so
and
hot.
chat.
Yeah.
Friends chat, rather than having to go back to the dash and
Yeah.
then launch it.
I also don't like that it snaps your messages and stuff. I'm
I
like,
don't like that
I don't
either.
want to snap
No,
it.
get outta
Just
here.
show me my messages for a second.
on the overlay,
On
right?
the
Like it
overlay.
was on 360.
Yeah.
It's got to be there, right? Because people aren't using Connect as much, or like they are deliberately selling a machine without a Connect, so that feature has to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you just have it go Xbox Snap, then nobody can snap if they don't have that.
Now
So
you
have to have, like, that
you have to
concept.
like double tap. It's a double tap to snap.
Yeah.
And then double tap to switch between windows. I think that's how it works.
Double snap the tab.
It's not intuitive. Like the fact that I can say that and we're all not sure isn't a good
That's
sign
a
about
really,
your
really good
system.
point, yeah.
You know.
Destin 2.
Yeah.
Ryan 0.
oh,
It's all right.
We'll get you on the
It's
board,
not-
buddy.
It's not a competition. I'll get you all back when we get to the unlock block.
no.
Actually, I don't. I think you guys are going to do well. It's a curveball, an unintentional curveball trivia this
I am
week.
so excited for the trivia.
We might have to change the entire format going forward as a result of
'Cause
this
it's
accident.
that good?
Yeah, so we'll
All
see.
right.
But all right. Next up, the only other real major thing that's happened by the time we got to the air here, recording early, is what we cover more off on with Josh and Quinn from 343 on the phone interview coming up later in the show. And that's the feedback that 343 took as a result of the Halo 5 beta and the changes they have made as a direct result of feedback. So I want to go through these. If you are not a Halo person, I would say skip ahead probably at least 10 minutes. But fair warning.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
But yeah, they made a ton of changes based on what happened in the beta.
All of these are awesome. Every single one of these is like, yep, this is exactly what this game needs.
One of them I'm not sure about. We'll get
Okay.
to that.
Is
but
better matchmaking the one that you're not sure about?
No, it's totally fine.
Zing!
Don't even bother fixing that. It was
Less
perfect.
loading time.
Well, that's that too, but
That was pretty. it was
so I'll
pretty
start
bad.
at the top. This first thing, though, that this is quoted from Josh Holmes's blog on this from Halo Waypoint. It says the results from the HCFP, which is their feedback program, Halo Community Feedback Program. The results from the survey show that nearly 11% of HCFP participants felt that Halo should not have sprint.
Is that high?
Well, I'm going to get to that.
Okay, sorry.
Skip ahead. As a result, I'm happy to say that we will provide toggles in custom games so that sprint and the other Spartan abilities can be turned off.
Cool. Cool.
Now, let me start by saying choice is always great.
Yeah.
But, and to answer your question, Destin, is 11% enough of a sample size that
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like if it was like 90% of people don't like sprint. Oh, okay, yeah, you need to do something about that.
Because it's an option, I'm completely making something out of nothing here. Just bringing it up for the sake of discussion. Like,
But I'm sure, there's 10% of people who probably have every crazy thing, crazy idea.
Right.
Yeah.
So that seems a little
should be
odd.
a third person game.
Also, the stats might have been slanted in such a way that it's like 11% said no, 0 sprint, never ever. Whereas, based on like typical survey questions like agree, strongly agree, strongly disagree, it might have been more leaning toward like, I don't really like it, or I'm kind of neutral on it. Like the majority may have been in that like middling to negative area.
Sean Finnegan, go ahead.
I think that's a good way to handle it. Just have it as an option for custom games,
Yeah.
Right, like opt into a classic Halo thing within Halo 5.
Sean the Shark Finnegan, who is not on the air with us today, but he was saying, he and I were talking about this off the air, and he was saying that after playing a ton of the beta, the Spartan abilities, including sprint, are so baked in that taking them away would seem weird. So, again, the option is there, and notice this is only for custom games. You will be playing with Spartan abilities in matchmaking, in ranked things.
So will every pro Halo 5 game.
Of course.
Are we going to have the air dash now that it's been in Call of Duty and Halo? Is that going to become a staple?
You can already do it.
It's a horizontal, left and right. You can still do it.
You can go back.
Backward, right?
You can go back.
Oh,
and
you can
forward.
go forward and back. Because you can.
In
tried,
both games.
I posted a clip. I didn't quite do it, but a dude ended up chasing me, and I tried. I jumped and then jetted back to try and.
Man,
you can do it. Yeah, you can jet in any direction, but. Are
we going to see that in more shooters? Is my question.
Oh, well. It does seem to be Titanfall, Call of Duty, Halo seems to be something of a thing.
Yeah.
Evolve has it.
Yeah,
you could double.
That's
tap
true.
and
I guess you
forward.
can sort of lunge forward with that, can't you? Although in Evolve, it's sort of a totally different. You're more just
get used to it.
The hell away from the monster. So let's get into the actual changes here. So optional sprint, optional Spartan abilities for custom games. Now,
pretty good.
Increase the base speed, so just faster movement from hitting forward on the stick.
Yeah,
I can understand that.
Increase strafe acceleration, so faster or more responsive strafing.
Good. We had problems with the controls, so that's good.
Yeah. Reduce top sprint speed. So basically, you'll run faster and sprint slower.
Yeah.
That's the one where I'm just curious to know how it's actually going to play.
Yeah, how does that feel?
That's interesting.
I can't really imagine that.
You'll hear in the phone interview coming up later in the show, I actually asked him about that. Like, hey, how's that feeling? And sadly, I didn't really. It's like, oh, we're still playtesting, and I didn't get a great answer from Josh. But
I wonder if the top speed is the same. I don't know. I'm trying to visualize it right because, I wonder if the increased base movement speed means that if you decrease the top sprint speed, is it still the maximum?
Well, it's going to be
speed you can go anyway.
I don't know. No, I think it's going to be slower, but I just think it's going to feel less like less of a dramatic change.
Correct.
I mean, all it happens is like you get the wind things letting you know you can dash, like use that arm or shoulder dash or whatever. That's a strange one. I don't know how that's going to translate.
I think it's
you
fine,
move faster, but then you have a.
I think this is the compromise, right? Because you can see it when they say they're going to they give the option to play like without any of those skills. This might be the compromise of like, listen, we know that not everyone is into sprint, so we're reducing the value of it a little bit while also increasing the value of general movement like traditional Halo.
Now, the reason you'll hear in the interview that they did this, although Josh wouldn't, for whatever reason, sort of talked around it, but this is if you read between the lines. A lot of people in the beta complained, and it didn't really super bug me, but I could definitely see it. A lot of times, if you got the drop on somebody, you'd start shooting them, and then they would just run away.
Yeah.
They'd sprint away, and you couldn't catch them. You'd have to hope that maybe a teammate found him, and because your shields don't recharge, so hopefully maybe a teammate found him and finished him off. But this is to directly address people turning tail in a firefight. Yeah. So curious to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, because I like the dynamic in Halo 5 of pickoffs are hard. If you're not with somebody, it's hard to pick somebody off because they can tuck tail and run, but at the same time, they're also compromising their shields, which don't recharge if they're sprinting.
Right.
So you kind of put them in a bad spot. If they sprint and they get away, well, shoot better.
Yeah, exactly. Modify ground pound controls to prevent conflicts with crouch jumping.
Hallelujah!
Yeah, that's always that helps.
That was so weird when you're trying to do it and you have to move it. Yeah, that needed to be adjusted.
Yeah, that's a great fix.
The very generic general tuning and bug fixes for all Spartan abilities, including thrusters, clamor, ground pound, etc. Hopefully, all just works more smoothly.
Great.
This one tells me that maybe the 343 folks are listening to our show because we talked about this. They're bringing back the classic Spanker rocket launcher as a legendary version of the weapon, similar to how the Prophet's Bane is the legendary version of the energy sword.
Oh, is that what that means then? It's
Yes.
just like a new version of the same thing?
Yeah, and it may...
That's cool.
I mean, it may
Is that the one
have...
that tracked vehicles?
well,
vehicles?
in Halo
Tracked
2 it
vehicles.
did.
Yeah.
In Halo 2 it did, and then they...
Okay.
It didn't in 1, it did in 2, and I think they got rid of it in 3 and 4.
It did vehicles, not people. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Or turrets.
It's the general UNSC rocket launcher.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm very happy. I'm very curious to see what its sort of extra ability, if any, will be.
Yeah.
But
Tracking.
I don't like the default Halo 5 rocket launcher. I mean, it plays the same, right? But I don't like the look of it. It's just
it doesn't feel
there's
iconic.
there's no personality to it. So I'm glad to see that the Spanker will be coming back.
Give me Spartan laser.
Oh,
We'll see. That'll be interesting.
the charge rate on that thing, but when it
It'll
connected,
be it'll be extra hard to hit a flesh target, given that you can strafe out of the way real fast.
Yeah.
But still, it is an
That makes it even more satisfying.
Right. It
Or
is
if you're like, I bet he's going to dash right there. And
Yeah.
Catch it.
Mitch, you just incinerated that guy. He's gone now. He's
I'm still
just
thinking about the fact that you said flesh target. That's weird.
Freudian slip again.
It wasn't a Freudian slip. It made sense. I just thought it was. I had weird thoughts.
about what?
We all-
Flesh targets.
we all do, Marty.
Flesh targets. Am I the one? Bueller.
Shine your
Bueller?
shine your fleshlight on him.
Jesus.
That's another thing entirely.
Next.
Next, reduce bonuses for automatic weapons in Smart Link with headshots. So basically, if you're zooming in, scoping in with the assault rifle and headshotting, they're toning that down a little bit, which is good because there'd be times where I'd be like, "How did I die that quickly? That makes no sense."
Wait, did you get like a damage bonus from
Yep.
that? As opposed to a regular headshot?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Man, good. Get rid of that.
Yep.
This next one.
This is. Go
Yeah.
ahead, because this is big for me too.
Remove grenade detonation in midair based on weapon fire. This
I
kept happening to
hated
me.
that in the beta.
You throw a grenade, and if somebody shoots it, it's gone.
Well, no.
That's
you
awesome.
You would die.
Yeah, and you would die.
You would die.
I kind of like that.
No, that's
Yeah.
great. Like if I pull out a grenade and throw it and you shoot it and it blows up in my face, I die.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's
I don't like.
terrific. I
don't know.
But it's not like I see why
probably not fun.
It's not fun. That's the thing. It makes sense, but it's not fun.
God, that's
Yeah.
another one of those things where it's like, man, if you're skilled enough to get that, you
But it's
deserve
not
it.
a skill thing.
you
It's
just
luck.
shoot in the general area of
you
his
were
hand.
firing a rifle.
Oh, it's not like
Yeah.
the hitbox of the grenade.
It's
No.
cluster luck.
Yeah.
pretty good. Pretty good.
Flesh targets.
This one will make everybody happy. Nobody liked the brotastic displays before in each match. That little splash screen,
Yeah.
that little pre-match, post-match screen. Expect the final pre- and post-match sequences to feature considerably fewer chest bumps and high fives.
Fewer, but they're not gone. For
not
those of you
gone.
that
That's
like
fine
them.
because everyone was freaking out like, "Oh man, they high fived. It's so dumb." I'm like, "Yeah, but they're also like Marine bros training against
Right.
their Marine bros, and they won."
Here's
Yeah.
the thing:
I
won
thought it
this
was.
sport.
I hated it.
We talked
Personally.
about it on the show,
Yeah.
and this is not on this list. I hope they add it at some point if any of the guys are listening. Identify who each player is
Oh,
on
yeah,
that screen,
right?
because with your armor customization, I know Mitch has like the crazy, maybe like the recon helmet or a Hayabusa
The
helmet.
Sangheili helmet or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I know, okay, that's Mitch. I need to either look out for him or just run away when I see him
That's
because
a good
he's
point.
awesome. I'd love to see some identification on that
Yeah.
screen.
Also,
That'll-
some kind
that'll-
of like MVP, like if the winning team MVP,
That would be cool.
Like have people, I don't know, it's
Other
be just
games
a
do
cute
that.
touch to have like the three other guys be like, "Yeah, man, this is the guy."
I
Yeah.
agree with that completely.
They all high five him, and then they
Yeah.
all chest bump.
That being said, I'd
They
be
slap
fine.
his tissue.
I'd be fine if this note was patched out of every single game ever. Less chest bumps and high fives in
Yeah,
every
chest bumps,
game
high
ever.
fives, yeah.
I love the idea of
Except Madden NFL.
Sorry, Madden.
Yeah.
or I love the idea
More.
of like the patch notes of the witness, like remove chest bumps and high fives. Like, what the hell is this game about?
The patch notes for the Vanishing of Ethan Carter always had a line about like move the sniper rifle. Like there's no gun in the game at all, but every patch note has
That's
like
really good.
decrease the number of kills with the sniper rifle, and, like things like that. It was so
really
good. Everyone's like, "Wait, where's the sniper rifle?"
Kill cam is now an opt-in feature. You can shut off the kill cam if you want.
That was
Fair
very
enough.
distracting. Yeah.
Medals will be the number. There'll be decreased frequency and number of medals displayed in the medal feed, so it's a little less candy.
Yeah.
Fewer cavities, less candy. Spartan chatter, players will have the option to turn it on or off. Again, options, great.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it.
I do too, but at the same time, it's like it is a lot going on. Where like I'm trying to talk to you, and the Spartans are yelling at each other, and I'm like, I don't know who's saying that, so it's kind of hard to tell.
To your point,
I loved it because in a pregame, I heard a dude get in a huge fight with his girlfriend about playing too much Halo.
No,
and
Spartan
it was amazing.
chatter, Destin.
No, the characters
in-game chatter.
The characters in the game.
Yeah,
that's
what happened. It was great.
Wait,
He played on his headset.
God. Mitch,
I forgot about that.
Anyway, yeah.
Gotta love Destin. Mitch, to your point, general tuning for announcer and Spartan chatter to reduce the frequency of events and focus on the information that matters most to players.
That's great.
So
That's
basically,
perfect.
less banter, more. He's at Red 1. Fire from Red 1.
Yep. Got the sniper rifle.
Exactly.
Reloading.
Booker, catch.
Yeah.
Wait. I didn't get to play the
Different chatter. Metal Spartan chatter. Oh, this one I like a lot because I complained about this. Adding highlights to placed or dropped weapons to make them easier to see. I'd be like, oh, there was a battle rifle there? What? I never saw it.
Yeah.
It's just like leaning up against the wall and it's shadowed. So, yay. I like the way Halo 2 Anniversary handles it, where it doesn't show anything until you get sort of within a certain range, and then there's just a little like triangle, a little bug that pops up on
You're
the
not
HUD.
seeing it from across the map.
Exactly.
And it was just like BR.
Yeah, it doesn't
You know.
clutter up your HUD. So
BR,
I hope Halo 5, they're implementing a similar system. Better matchmaking, which of course you'd hope for because it was a little rough in the beta.
Yeah.
Punish quitters with ranking penalties and matchmaking bans.
This is a big one.
I
Bans.
believe Bungie did with 2. I think with Halo 2.
This is great.
You would
And this
get
is like
punished.
You would
This
get
is-
banned for like a week.
this
or
is
something, right?
especially gonna be super potent in the the competitive scene.
Yes.
Because like pros or amateur near pros, like those kinds of guys, if they quit a game, hey, you get an abandon and you're banned. Sorry, you don't get to
It's-
play for a while.
It's also
That's great.
incredibly easy to do that now by going out the dashboard, quitting your game. So,
Yeah, that too.
StarCraft
too,
players
so-
used to do it all the time. Like instead of hitting quit, they would just unplug the Ethernet cable.
Oh, yeah.
and they wouldn't get the abandon. They'd get a disconnect.
I think Halo 2 people would pull that crap too. I mean, it's not far off from the standby cheat, really. Or just...
That's pretty.
oh, the standby. I hated those days.
So, what do you guys think of these changes? You think it's going to make for a better Halo 5? Or are there any that are like, eh?
I don't feel like they missed anything. They
like
all
all
seem
these.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like all these options. Again, like we're saying, is the best.
Yeah, it's good to see that. As we figured going in, that they really were going to change the game based on feedback, and this wasn't just a marketing beta for show.
Yeah, this is also. I mean, it's a beta that's almost a year out before the game's probably going to release. So,
Ryan, you think they're going to do another one, right?
I'd still do.
Yeah.
I tried to crowbar in that question when I was out of time at the end of the interview, and didn't really get anywhere. But
With this many adjustments to one beta, I feel like they have to do another one.
I agree.
You know,
I
We'll
agree
see.
with you.
what? That's not Greek or Latin. What's after beta in the alphabet? Because that's going to be what the next thing is. It's a zeta.
Charlie,
Wait, what? Really?
I said.
oh. Get on that microphone, man.
It's like a military thing.
You're a military.
Alpha, Beta,
Charlie,
Omega.
Delta, Echo,
You're a
You're right.
Foxtrot,
Yeah.
Gamma.
One other quick Halo 5 thing. This was on a credit, so it's teambeyond.net is the website that posted this. What?
I just slowly turned and looked to Marty, and he saw me and broke. To be
Well, you
honest,
said beyond, and I was going to say it, but I didn't.
Oh, you didn't.
I just died.
You spared us all. You got Mitch.
oh
died.
man, that was
Anyway,
great. That's my favorite thing of the day.
That's a website on the internet, guys.
Okay.
So no, they posted up. Apparently, there's a Halo 5 art book. Every game gets an art book
Yeah.
now, but it was
Yeah.
dated for August 11th. And the
Interesting.
reason that's interesting is because there was the Halo 4 art book, which came out in November alongside the game. Art books tend to have spoilers in them, so that led them to the question: is Halo 5 going to
Jesus.
ship in August or maybe even a September? Like,
That is so
nuts.
early.
I mean, I've had it pegged for November
Yeah,
based on
like
history and
yours.
the whole way, and I just feel like they're probably going to need as much damn time as they can to just polish it to the max.
sure.
Yeah, the Mass Effect art book shipped about a month before the game came out, and a lot of people avoided it because of spoilers.
I thought we'd discuss it real quick. What do you guys? I mean, is that a feasible thing, or are they is this just a placeholder that's going to change? But
I think they did it with Halo 4, and they also moved it. It's the 11th, though. It's not like the 15th. Typically,
it's I did check. It is a Tuesday.
I mean, the book publishing industry is on top of its game. They always know, like, usually like a year in advance when books are going to publish.
Right.
So this is entirely feasible. But my brain can't process the idea of Halo coming out in August.
So, well, okay, let's say it's August or September.
I can see September.
So early.
I see September.
October at the earliest.
Halo 3 was September.
Okay.
Wasn't Halo 2 September?
No, that was November 9th.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah. But 3 was September, the end of September, to be fair. I believe ODST was September, and I think Reach was September, too. And then they went back to November for Halo 4.
Yeah.
Huh.
So here's why this actually starts to make sense to me. I mean, you would think that, as I've said on the show, September for Forza, Tomb Raider in October, Halo in November. But remember that not only is the Call of Duty juggernaut going to hit, which Call of Duty was bad news for Halo 4. You know, everybody we've talked, everybody dropped out of that game. And it's probably Black Ops 3. I mean, I actually already tweeted there were these weird little rumors that somebody got started that it was going to be World at War 2. And I actually tweeted, I will eat my hat. I have many baseball caps. I will eat my hat if it's not Black Ops 3. Like, it's...
At the same time, like, I love the idea of Treyarch doing another period piece kind of thing, as opposed to, like, the near future stuff.
But Black Ops 1 and 2 were, like, the biggest Call of Duty.
Yes.
Like, there's
it's
no
the biggest
way
brand they have.
Right.
Like,
There's no way they're turning their back on
I think it surpassed Modern Warfare.
I think so. So anyway, you know, do you maybe if you go in September, you avoid bumping up against Call of Duty again, particularly when Microsoft has been in bed with Activision on the marketing side, and, you know, Xbox promotes Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So it sort of separates those. And the other big one, Battlefront. Battlefront's going to be freaking enormous in leading up to Episode 7's movie release.
Yeah.
And that game is almost certainly going to come out in November because the film is out in December.
Yeah.
I would even peg it for October to give it the 2-month breathing room between the
Battlefront,
movie.
you mean?
Yeah, Battlefront for October. Battlefield is always October. Like, usually like the second or third week.
True.
Put it in that time frame, give it 2 months, the movie hits, boom, you have your Episode 7 DLC.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So that leads back to Halo 5. I mean, this is, you know, we say it respectfully, but, you know, Halo is a franchise that is kind of got its back up against the wall right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Halo 4 sold great, but had no legs. It, you know, the population dropped like a rock after Black Ops 2 came out.
Yeah.
Master Chief Collection's launch has been a huge black eye for them. Halo 5 beta was great, but it still, you know, had matchmaking issues that hopefully have solved, but it would kind of maybe make sense to put it, if they've been aiming for September this whole time and not telling anyone, put it out in September, kind of that window where we've seen Destiny hit, where we've seen Grand Theft Auto hit the year before that. There, you know, that first big salvo of the season. Try to get those first mover dollars, you know, that first big release where everybody's like, I'm ready to buy the first big fall release. Oh, Halo 5, here you go. Here's my money.
September's a great date.
Theoretically, and it gets them out of the way of Call of Duty, out of the way of Battlefront, gets them a chance to build a positive community that'll get entrenched in the game and won't drop off.
Yeah.
That'll keep playing after those games come out instead of, oh, I bought Halo and then next week Call of Duty came out, so I think I'm just going to play Call of Duty now. Screw it. You know, you don't have a chance to build up the community in Halo, that sort of camaraderie. So it's making more and more sense the more I think about it.
Yeah,
it worked.
And,
it did work for Destiny.
It'd be huge too.
Sure did.
Under the assumption that Uncharted 4 is a November game, to have, you know,
Tomb Raider up against that.
Yeah, and to have Xbox's big game be 2 months before that. Like, that's huge.
Yeah. Well, and it would also give Halo the chance to continue selling through the holidays rather than just be out in November and then sell in November and December.
Like $5 off for the holidays or something.
Yeah,
you know?
and
God, this fall's gonna be nuts.
Let's look at it. I mean, pessimistically, if there are issues at Halo 5's launch, hypothetically, they could get them fixed up by the time Black Friday rolls around and there are just masses of consoles and copies of the game getting sold. September's making more and more sense.
Yeah, all of this adds up really well.
Yeah. God, also, I keep thinking about this fall, and it's insane.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Zelda. Jesus.
Zelda, Uncharted,
Halo,
Forza, Tomb Raider,
Black Ops
3, probably.
Battlefront.
Star Fox is probably this year.
Star Fox.
Assassin's Creed.
What's it called this year
Victory.
again? Victory. That's right. The Victorian era.
If we're being super optimistic, The Division, Final Fantasy 15.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six will be next year, right?
Rainbow Six is this year.
Okay.
But we don't know when yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
my
Rainbow
God.
Six could be on the table. I mean,
Oh my God, that would
nuts.
pull me away from
How
Halo.
many games?
Yeah.
But that's even, again, take out all of them. Even if you just look at other shooters, like Halo's direct competition, it's still Black Ops 3, Battlefront, maybe Rainbow Six. Destiny's probably expansion pack, right?
Yeah, that's
something Destiny related.
For
That's
December, right?
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know about if that's real or not.
Sure,
but
that's
we'll
the
see.
speculation right now.
I think that's their E3 is, hey, here's what we have planned. You know.
There you go. We're going to keep an eye on this. Anybody want to make any in and out bets while we're here?
Can we just go to?
Is
In-N-Out?
anyone convinced?
I like that you've moved past In-N-Out bets and you now make it hat bets. Instead of eating In-N-Out, you're going to eat a hat. You have to eat your hat.
How would you eat it? Would you like blend it up into a smoothie and then drink the smoothie?
Shove it in my mouth, chew for a minute, and spit it back out. Make a vine of that. Well, there you go. Good job, Team Beyond, for catching that book. Just hold it in. Stop saying it. Keep it in your cardigan, Marty. Gosh, I know it's your show now. You can't come up with your own catchphrase. It's the Marty show now.
Marty!
I think Excelsior might be taken.
Oh, shit.
Well, what
Beyond with Marty.
Cardigan!
I'm so lonely.
All right. Next,
Marketplace
flipping the page over.
reports.
Yes, Mitchell. What can we spend our money on this
as
week?
we said earlier in the show, Evolve is out this week for $60. We already gave our thoughts. Let us know what you think. Unlocked at IGN.com. Nothing on XBLA. Rest in peace. On the Marketplace, we have the Games with Gold for February. On Xbox One is iDarb. You can read my review on IGN.com.
Play it. It's
that
fun.
game is really fun.
It's really fun.
It's super cool.
And it's free.
It's free, yeah. It's a Games with Gold.
It's free.
It's also brand new, so jump on it. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is available till February 15th for free on Xbox 360.
Please play that video game.
Phenomenal. I kind of want to replay it. Sniper Elite V2 takes over on the 16th through the 28th for 360 as your
Shoot Hitler
Xbox
in the
360
balls on an X-ray cam.
Does that come with
Dolph.
it? I know that was a
No, I don't
DLC.
think so. Probably not.
So
I'm
if you'd
gonna
like it
play
for free,
Brothers
pay
with my
$5 to shoot Hitler. That's it. Small
Good
week.
stuff. All right, now let's take a break here, and we'll come back with that phone interview. Josh Holmes and Quinn Del Hoyo from 343. We talked for about 25 minutes about the Halo 5 beta and all the changes they're making as a result. So stay tuned for that, and we'll come back with trivia. All right, time for trivia, and I've made a terrible error this week, which I think is going to result in the best Unlock Block segment ever.
Best or the worst.
Good job, me, or horrible job, me. You're fired.
Yeah.
I got the name right. We've got
Good.
Landon Barker, whose gamer tag is Bark3797. He won himself a copy of Limbo for Xbox
Nice.
One.
Nice.
For
Good
sending
game.
in
Play it.
an Xbox-related trivia question, which I conveniently forgot to paste in our document.
Whoops.
I instead pasted the 4 answers,
Okay.
and I know what the correct one is because I saw his email. So we're going to do this Jeopardy style. I'm going to give you guys 4 multiple-choice answers.
Okay.
And
You tell us. What the
you tell
question
me
is.
what the question is.
I love this so much.
First of all, good job, Landon Barker, for sending this in. This was a good question anyway, even though now I'm completely twisting it to my own
It's a
weird.
good question. We'll find out what it
Yeah,
is
we'll
soon.
find out. And if you would like to win a copy of an Xbox One video game, possibly a Limbo or an Assassin's Creed 4, send your Xbox-related trivia question along with 4 multiple-choice answers. Note the correct one to unlocked at ign.com. So here we go, guys. Here are your clues, here are your choices. In 2002, with the launch of Xbox Live. In 2004, with the release of Halo 2. In 2005, with the introduction of the Xbox 360. And in 2007, during the Live is 5 event.
I've got
What are we looking for
I've got my
there?
question.
Okay, I'm going to go to Mitch first.
When did Microsoft release the orange Xbox 360 controller?
Okay.
Okay.
Destin?
When did
You pretty much have to latch on to one of these answers and then go with it. So I like this.
When did Xbox introduce Party Chat to Xbox Live.
Okay.
For
That's
1,000.
good.
For 1,000.
Damn, I wish I thought of that.
Marty.
When did renowned author Solomon Rushdie get food poisoning and throw up on a dog?
That was George Bush, the first one.
Oh yeah, that was him.
No,
at what event did the Killers play? I remember they played at an event.
Wow.
that's true.
With the
I
release
was
of Halo
there.
2.
That
So
did
I
happen.
think the question should be worth 1 point, and then we should have to actually answer the question.
Okay, all right.
Although I'm
Well,
sure
did
it'll give
anybody
it away.
get it?
I'm sure
Did
the question
anyone
will
get
give
the
it away.
question?
No. But I mean, so
I thought for sure
what
I
Mitch
had it.
said was a correct question to an answer here, but it's not what we're looking for.
Dang it.
So what we were looking for was C in 2005 with the introduction of the Xbox 360, with the question being, when did Microsoft introduce Gamerscore?
Gamerscore.
Oh, man. I definitely would have got that one.
Yeah.
So
Definitely would have got
Yeah.
that
I knew
one.
it was a feature of Xbox Live. Didn't know what though.
It's a good question, though.
I like it.
No,
Landon
We still
Barker.
could have answered it.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
we all would have got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all get a point.
Honorary points. Points for everyone,
Suck it,
except
Finnegan.
you, Solomon Rushdie.
All right, fine. You guys want points?
Yeah.
Let's cheapen the points.
Yeah.
It's just point
All
inflation.
right.
All right. Good God, people.
I can't wait for the point bubble to burst.
I don't see a world in which any of us got that question wrong.
Yeah,
Good as it
probably
is.
not.
Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
All right.
I feel queasy.
All right, let's wrap up then. Let's do some plugs.
Young Jeezy.
Destin, plug IGN Prime because our boss has asked us to.
IGN Prime is a great service that turns off ads on IGN. You can get it today
On
for
videos.
the low price
Yeah.
of...
It's not there.
It's not on Ryan's...
$30.
$30 a year.
$30 for a year. That is 12 months of ad-free content, videos, and other videos. Get it, IGN.
We hired a new employee. His name is Brandon Terrell. He's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get him on the show next week.
Yeah.
Because he's an Xbox guy.
Yes. He's also huge into Smite, so when that game comes out, I'm sure
Oh.
he'll be doing the review.
That game's going to blow up.
But when he was here, we did like the...
What did you say?
It's
Random
going to blow
hate
up.
from the...
The game's
No,
going
he
to
said
blow
it's
up.
gonna
It's going to be
blow
huge.
up. Oh, blow up
I
in a
heard
good way.
blow.
No, it's going to be huge.
No.
But when he got here, everyone's like, yeah, man, do you have Prime? He's like, no, why would I get Prime? We're like, oh, you got to get Prime, dude. It'll save your life.
Good
So
stuff.
IGN Prime's good.
And then it did.
Yeah.
Literally.
He's
it's why
alive
he's
today
alive.
because
Yeah.
of it. Yeah. Marty Sleva.
Yeah.
What do you got going on that we should know about and check out on IGN or other platforms?
I don't have a lot of Xbox stuff going on, but I helmed a lot of the Bloodborne IGN First content.
Yes.
So if you enjoy...
Which is a cool video game.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of the Souls, Dark Souls, Demon Souls series, that game's pretty cool. You should check out all that stuff. We have all sorts of rad stuff that went up last week, that's going up this week, and that's going up for the rest of the month. Yeah.
At McBiggity.
At McBiggity.
2 G's, 2 T's.
2 G's.
Follow
and
you
2
on the
Ts.
tweets.
On the tweets.
Tweeter.
Yeah.
Destin, what do you got going on?
Still working on Fireteam Chat. It like blew up on
number one
iTunes.
video game
the number one
podcast on
video game
iTunes.
podcast on iTunes
People love
for
that
like
Destiny.
3 weeks. And it was in the featured area.
Nice.
Also,
Nice.
That probably
up
gave you a
and
little
coming.
bit of a
That doesn't happen to us.
Yeah, so that was surprising and flattering. Thank you everybody for listening to that. I'm working on some
Your
other.
addiction finally paid off.
Yeah, right. I'm working on some other stuff that I don't really want to talk about yet.
Next up,
so.
Heroin Podcast.
Yeah.
No, you've been doing. You're working on a video feature that's pretty cool.
I don't know about this, so let's talk about it off air.
Walk by his desk
Yeah.
and see what he's doing.
Okay.
Yeah, just look at my desk. You'll be like, oh, okay. I
Oh,
got
no.
it.
I do know that one.
Yep.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
that's really awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I heard you raging in anger
Oh,
last
yeah.
week, like throwing controllers.
Just do it.
We were sitting on the
Do
couches,
thing.
and Destin walked by to get like a Red Bull, and he's just like, like, what's wrong, buddy? You still can't do it.
It was like
It
when
wa-
you spent
it's so
9 hours trying to
frustrating.
beat Tyson.
Remember that? That I finally did. Now it's like, yeah. That was a good moment.
You finally did, and you realized it was 3 in the morning and the office was empty.
Yeah.
There was like one custodian.
That was almost
Congrats.
true. It was like 9 p.m., but nobody was
We
there.
high-fived and got blackout drunk. No, just
There
kidding.
you go.
You high-fived and chest bumped.
Yeah.
You became
Like
flesh
you do.
targets.
That's right. Follow you at Destin Legary on Twitter. Mitch Dyer.
Probably breaking embargo a little bit, but on
Yeah.
wait a minute. But whatever. On Friday, we have a hands-on preview of Just Cause 3 going up.
Oh,
So-
that's okay. Yeah, we can say that.
Just
like-
because?
Just cause everyone kept asking why I was going to Stockholm, and I was like, "Oh, just cause." And they're like, "Oh, like for vacation?" I'm like, "No, right." That's
an Abbott
that's a
and
general
Costello
phrase
routine.
that people say. Right. Just
Who's on
Cause
first?
3. Yeah.
We talked about
What's
it.
on
I
second?
didn't realize it was hands-on.
Yeah, I played that game for like an hour. So that preview will go live. A little bit of interview stuff in there as well.
Is that a 2015 game? Have
yeah.
they said?
Yeah,
Did you have
forgot about
grapple
that.
arms?
That's this year.
Grapple arms.
The grapple arms, man. The new skills in that game are awesome.
There's nude skills.
Nude skills coming
People would
soon.
parachute, then just grapple arm throughout the whole world.
And now they
got
made
around
it even
too.
easier for you to like navigate the world.
Oh,
That's-
yes.
it's great.
That's a next gen only game, right?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
PC.
Yes. So subscribe to
Multiplayer.
TBD. Probably not. Probably
Oh,
a mod.
please.
Probably a mod.
Oh, that'd be a mistake.
One of those hot console mods.
Wait a minute. That game's published by WB, right?
Square.
Isn't it? Oh, Square. Okay, damn. I was going to say they could just mod in Batman and it'd be totally legit. But it's got my publisher's
Nemesis
crossed.
system all
Yeah,
over.
yeah. Subscribe to IGN Arena on youtube.com/IGN Arena and on iTunes. That's our esports and MOBA podcast.
Why did I get yelled at when I giggled about my podcast?
I didn't-
These guys.
I
these
laughed
guys
at-
talk about their podcasts.
You can talk about
Because
it.
you like started convulsing.
Yeah. I think you started laughing at your
have to say
podcast. Not
Play
us.
it cool, hotshot.
That's true. That's true.
And we'll follow you at Mitchie D. As for me, let's see here. Not much. What can I say?
Working hard, huh?
Yeah, I don't even know what I do here anymore. Besides this show, which is my favorite part of the week.
You're probably going to lead some sweet cocoa discussions.
Lead? No, I'll be there.
Okay.
You can count on me to be physically and emotionally present, and then
That's good.
we'll have drinks after.
Yay.
Yeah. Follow me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan, and I feel like there's got to be something going on.
I mean, you're one of those
You're
guys-
working on a bunch
your
of stuff
job
you
is pretty
can't
much to
talk about.
plan.
I live in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, you
That's
live in the future, yeah.
You're like an orchestrator.
I
You
don't
just make
work
stuff
on
happen.
like in magazines. When we worked in you lived in the future constantly because you'd be working on the July issue in January.
Yeah.
And somehow I now work on a up to the second website, and I still live in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, like on Friday we were sending all these emails and all these exciting responses about stuff that people won't see for a while.
Yeah.
But if it works out and people do see it, then it's gonna be rad.
I
Anyway,
don't think I got that email.
No, it's just random.
Okay.
yeah,
Team
Just-
Discovery Channel.
just
Ryan
planning,
works on the really exciting stuff.
just planning the next IGN firsts.
Yeah.
the
God, I
next
need to get
few.
my passport renewed.
Please
Yeah, you do.
You're gonna need it.
Didn't you just go to Sweden?
It expires today. Literally today, my passport expires.
Mazel tov.
You now can't go anywhere. Don't commit any crimes because
Correct.
you cannot flee the country.
Correct.
All right. Anyway, most of you catch the show on iTunes. You can just search for Podcast Unlocked in the search field. It comes right up. You can subscribe. Then it'll drip feed right into your veins the way you like it. Subscribe to the. You're already on there to get Fire Team Chat, Mr. Number
Yeah.
One podcast. So
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
you
but
guys
some-
were like we were
were
number
doing well.
5.
You
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
you peasants were number 5.
you guys that I'm going to leave soon, like a free agent.
Got
Not
my number
going
one
anywhere.
podcast. Goodbye.
For Marty Sleva, Mitch Dyer, Destin Legary, my name's Ryan McCaffrey. This was Podcast Unlocked, episode 182 for February 11th. What? That's
Number 4.
We're number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and Fire Team Chat number 2.
Number 2.
That's
Who's in
fantastic.
charge now?
Got busted down by Blizzard Watch.
Blizzard Watch. Is that a weather?
wow.
Is that a weather
Are they
related
Probably
East Coast?
Blizzard games. I don't
Overwatch
know.
the podcast.
Yeah.
You can probably guarantee we're going to have one of those too.
Really? We're the number 4 pod? That's
Oh,
great.
this is a new podcast. So Blizzard must have just launched the podcast.
it-
Let's stop plugging our competition.
I don't think Blizzard is our
Yeah, that's true.
competition.
Go give them one No, don't do that.
Yeah.
No, no. All right. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen. Thanks all you guys watching and listening. And remember, the show is in full video now. So
Yes.
if you want to see that, either go to YouTube or IGN.com. So video, audio, however you want it, it's here for you. You asked, and we listened, damn it.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. We give you what you want. And we'll see you next week.